Everyone says success is rare. I say success is an inevitable outcome. It's mathematical, probability 100%, not even 90, not even 95, a guaranteed 100. But how? You have been told that success is the hardest thing you'll ever earn. And I won't lie, that part's true. But hard isn't the same as complicated. It's a three variable equation, simple to understand, brutal to execute. Success is hard only when you are running the wrong equation. The masses, they move with impulses. They drown in shiny objects, ignoring the fundamentals. Ignoring the fundamentals is their first step towards a lifetime of collapse. So, what are the fundamentals of success? Well, success is equals to direction multiplied by quality effort multiplied by time, where direction is clarity multiplied by strategy, quality effort is focus multiplied by repetition multiplied by autocorrection, and time is compounding multiplied by patience. That's it. Three variables, one outcome. How you apply these three variables determine whether you rise or collapse. Understanding these fundamentals to the core is what most people are missing, and thus they are not where they want themselves to be. You must have heard everyone saying to just do it or to just start doing and felt like, why does it not resonate with me? Am I lacking something? The truth is, you are never lacking anything. The truth is, you never lacked anything. You never lacked the will to do work. You lacked direction. Direction is equals to clarity multiplied by strategy. And if any one terms neglects, even if a single term tends to zero, the whole equation collapses. First of all, you need a perfectly well-defined direction of motion. Sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and truth written in raw form, where you are just defining everything, raw and unfiltered, converting chaotic thoughts into precise words. You have to induce clarity first, which comes by defining. Yes, you will not be 101% clear, but that is not what we are aiming for. What you need is actionable clarity. Very little fact should first be defined, not from your perspective, but from a third eye view, a view, a lens without judgments, without belief systems. This whole process of defining is what is missed by the mass, and if not missed, then they do it wrong. To perform it correctly, you have to answer the questions like what is that one thing which I am actually willing to learn and to do for the rest of my life? How do I react when forced out of comfortability? What is my deeply understood and fundamentally rooted why towards the actions? Why is my why strongly unique to me and not shared by others? All these questions define what you are, what do you want, who you look up to, and what do you aim to become. Take a pen, write 30 questions, then dedicate the next 30 pages into opening up each individual question, each layer, little by little, hair by hair, all aspects of it, all the underlying dots in it. And you have to do all of it in a way where you put your belief systems and emotional biases to the side by thinking logically, rationally, in sense inducing steps. Otherwise, you will fall back again in the same loops which strangled you before. This process of defining should give you two or three domains in which you can practically work hard towards. These domains should be chosen according to your specific knowledge plus a practically feasible implementation. Once the domain is decided that, okay, this is the X thing which aligns with my mental models, my ethics, and my past experiences, then you need a strategy. A typical way of strategizing is a timetable where you decide that I'll wake up at 6 a.m., be productive till 7, and then fall back. This solution fails because the process doesn't feel yours. You haven't made a deeper connection with the process, and thus the process rips apart and you are just left with dust again. The strategy should be a well defined way of living, which is hard enough to keep the spiral going upwards, yet smooth enough so that you can avoid any minor inconveniences and roadblocks coming in your way. Systems tending towards habits are what you need in place of a perfect strategy. Build systems that fit your ethics, energy, and environment, challenge you enough to grow, flow smoothly enough to avoid resistance. There is no perfect strategy, so you can actually experiment until you have expanded with different ways enough to make a solid conclusion which lead to properly placed systems. And these upward spiraling systems are what helps to improve the person every day by continuously tackling harder and harder problems, which the person solves in order to get better and get a sense of happiness. Once you realize this, you will start to see the bigger picture and thus understand that everything we have done so far is linked with each other. The logical connections make sense, and this enables us to transcend into a higher state of being. Once you've completed the step zero of actually defining and understanding deeply about you, your goals, your mental models, your experiences, and how they shape you, you can now start working towards the step one, the actual work, the actual doing. But not all work is equal. So, what is the equation? Well, quality effort is equals to focus multiplied by autocorrection multiplied by repetition. It consists of three parameters: intense laser like focus, upward spiraling repetition, and a correction term where we fix mistakes. Focus is like a base of quality work. It is a continuous art form where you are always focusing on something. Yep, you are always focusing on something. If it's not work, there are distractions. So focus should be guided onto the current task and then trained to stay there. It's a mental muscle which can be improved by consciously training it to progressive overload, just like the muscles are trained in the gym. And thus, to focus on a single task, you have to first eliminate the possibility of all other distractions, set aside the noise, and then what remains is the work. And then you focus with laser like accuracy until until you progressively overload your mental muscle and train it to gain repetition. Imagine a spinning tornado. It starts from its base with zero radius and then spinning faster and faster, becoming larger and larger as we go up. This is what repetition can do. This consists of a number of hours, the volume, the core work is done in this part. Repeat and iterate the process. Keep on increasing the volume. And if done correctly, then rise is inevitable. Autocorrection. Well, this is the improvement part of the whole process. Most people repeat mistakes and then complain about their lack of progress. Correction means to analyze every little thing, every little component of the process. You find issues, you find parts of improvement, and then you alter them. Find problems, find solutions, and repeat. You are not a rigid machine performing the given set of instructions, but a human who is constantly iterating, experimenting, adopting, and correcting its way towards the better direction. This makes the spiral go upward rather than staying neutral and spinning in the same plane. And that, my friend, sums up the quality of work. You put in quality, whether by motivation, by discipline, or by obsession. All these are just mental manipulation techniques or tools which help you to do the work. But whatever tool you choose to stick around to and make your personality around, it's not going to do the work for you. Tools don't work, you do. Time, the most important parameter of the whole process, the parameter with the biggest graveyard of failures, where most of the people die. Everyone's productive, everyone's talented, everyone starts, but only a few last. To build something of actual genuine value, you need to put an uncountable amount of hours. You need to have a patience of literal monks who have prayed for years. True, true output takes time. It's not something you can build in a week. or a month or even an year. It takes a long time to iterate and improve to reach a level in certain skill where no one can truly match you. And you have limited time on this planet Earth. Time is the most limited resource we have left. And that is why we have to make a very wise decision of choosing the domain in which to gain mastery. Take the 10,000 hour principles of mastery, for example. We get 416 days, 416 days of non stop work for the whole 24 hours every single day to master. That, that becomes a year and 2 months. Split that over 8 hours per day. You get 3.5 years of showing up every day for 8 long hours on a single thing, and only then it will compound to mastery. Compounding is another factor. Results compound. They do not grow linearly, but they grow in an exponential fashion. Linear means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but exponential means 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But the thing is, in the beginning, it's gonna look like 0, 0.001, 0.002, 0.004, and it's gonna stay under visibility for a long time until it breaks through. This is why time or patience is required, and you have to iterate it over a really long period of time to attain mastery, which turns into a successful expedition. A successful individual committed long before you ever started, and thus you have to actually put in the work with immense focus without any distractions and by following all the parameters, all the possible redundancies should be eliminated, and what remains is true purpose, true direction. And that's how we made it the formula of success: direction, quality effort, iterated over a long period of time.